Bitcoin is at an extremely important area on the charts. So in this video, as usual, I want to update you on price action and also share with you some trades that I've taken. But in this one, I also want to talk about Ethereum as it's been very strong over the past few weeks. So what we'll do is start off with Bitcoin and then move on to Ethereum. In my last update, if you remember, Bitcoin was around there on the charts and I had opened along at this wick on the charts. So what happened after this, we moved up and the only resistance that I shared in the last video was the value area high if you remember. So what happened, we moved up, retested the value area high as support, and at this point I decided to average up on my long. And the reason for that is because unfortunately on Bybit, you cannot open two different longs at the same time on the same coin. So in a way, I was forced to average up. I cannot leave this long alone and then open a second one. Kind of unfortunate, but that's the way it is. In any case, I averaged up, we got a second leg higher, but then what happened? We got a failed auction above the value area high. So if I bring this to today, what you will see is that the value area high moved up, we got a failed auction above this level, a drop back into it, and at this point I decided to exit my long because I expected a bit of a bigger drop. And what happened? We got this drop to a very important support level, which is what I want to talk about on Bitcoin's chart. So if I go on the daily chart, what happened on this drop is that we filled out all of these inefficiencies, hit a daily order block, and also hit the point of control. And that's why, in my opinion, especially because we have the point of control, this support level is extremely important. If I go back on the lower time frames, what could happen, in my opinion, if we lose the point of control is a much bigger drop on the charts. So if we drop, lose it, flip it as resistance, we could see very easily the value area low at around $63,000, if not much lower prices. And that's why, in my opinion, the point of control is an extremely important level. Then above us, we have another resistance, which uses the same logic, inefficiencies, order block, and that's where I've opened a short on Bitcoin. And the reason for that is because, in my opinion, it's a very safe short. I have a very tight stop loss, and in my opinion, we could have a bit of a retracement next week. Bitcoin is a bit overextended, we do have some inefficiencies below us, and that's why, again, I've opened a safe short in my opinion. And that's why Bitcoin is at an extremely important area, because below us, we have a major support, and above us, in my opinion, we have an important resistance. So again, if we break below the point of control, expect a much bigger drop, but if we break above this resistance, I would expect a new all-time high. And for now, I'm favoring this scenario simply because the markets are looking very strong. With this in mind, what levels do we have in this range? So above the point of control and below this resistance. Well, in my view, we only have one support level, which would be right there. And you could extend it a bit more, but personally, I would be interested in this small area around 67,600. So this being said, next week, on Monday for example, tomorrow, if I see a drop on Bitcoin and then a rejection off of this support, I will take an aggressive long, again because I believe that Bitcoin is more likely to hit a new all-time high than not. And that's why I would be interested in a long in this area. And the reason that I did not open a long on this drop is simply because I was focused on Ethereum. So this being said for Bitcoin, that's mainly it for the charts. Again, we have an obvious support below us, at least in my opinion, and an important resistance above us. And then in between them, we have this interesting support. The charts are simple, guys. You don't need to overcomplicate it. In my opinion, it's really straightforward. But then, if we move on to Ethereum, what happened there? If I go on the 4-hour chart, what you will see is that we have an insanely nice bump of over 30%, which is huge, of course. And that's why when I closed my long on Bitcoin, I decided to focus on Ethereum. And as I shared on the Discord, that's Ethereum. I was looking at one level, 3624, I wanted to see a break below it and then a reversal to the upside. In any case, as I said on the Discord, I will be interested in a long if we see a retracement on Ethereum, simply because it looked stronger than Bitcoin. So if you go back on the charts, what happened is that on Wednesday, so when price was there, price bounced off this nice order block. And when I saw this bounce, I expected this low to be a medium term low. And that's why I took the fixed range of this move, and then on the 1 hour chart, when price retested the value yellow as support, I entered along on Ethereum and closed it near the highs. And the reason that I closed it is because again, we had a very important level at 3624 as I wanted to see a drop below it. The reason for that is what I talk about very often, is that we had a lot of inefficiencies below this level. And usually, if you want to see a healthy move up or down in the markets, you do expect the coin to fill out some of these inefficiencies. And that's exactly what happened. We got a drop, as you can see, filled out these inefficiencies, and then reversed to the upside. Now, unfortunately, I was having dinner. So as I said, I was having dinner, and even though I had an alert on the chart, as you can see right there, this move happened too quickly for me to catch it. So if I go on the 1 minute chart, even on the 1 minute candle, we have a very big wick. So what this means is that this move, as you can see right here, remember that's the 1 minute chart, this move literally happened in a couple of seconds. So unfortunately, I did not have time to catch it, even though I did expect a drop below this level, as I shared with you on the Discord. After this move, we had a very nice bounce, and at this point, honestly, I don't believe that it's worth it to look for a long on Ethereum at these levels. And that's why at this point, I'm shifting my focus back to Bitcoin. However, I do want to update you on a very quick Elliott wave count. So what we have is an extension. We have a 1, 2, into a 1, 2, into another 1, 2. Then we have a 3, 4, 5, another wave 4, and then another wave 5 for again a 4 and a 5. And that's why I'm very bullish on Ethereum. Unfortunately, I missed this drop, but just by looking at the Elliott waves, I am expecting much higher prices and the break of these highs. And that's of course if Bitcoin doesn't lose the point of control that I just talked about. And that's mainly it for Ethereum. I'm expecting higher prices. This was a very healthy move on the charts, and the Elliott waves, as I said, are very obvious. And this being said, that was mostly it for this update. If we go back to Bitcoin, I'm only interested in one long position, which would be, as I said, on the 1 hour chart around 67,600. Other than that, I'm not interested in any other trades. And finally, of course, if there's something in this update that you did not really understand, what are order blocks, what are inefficiencies, what are Elliott waves, we do teach all about those in our courses. And as I promised, the horizontal levels course will be coming out in the coming days, and in this one I'll talk about order blocks, inefficiencies, liquidity, and very important concepts. And also Elliott waves are coming out very soon. So this being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this update and see you in the next one.